Dude, no. Man, good right hand, man. Fantastic. You do all...
So that's what the how everything started for me was just like playing guitar. Getting locked in a room for like hours, trying to figure out how to play. And then that's what when I go back in time and I think a lot about this, the most important part of everything I've done later, it was based on that era, where I have a time to decompose everything I was listening. It's just like trying to understand where every single element in the music.
Yeah.
I always liked pop music.
Yeah.
But I think rock and roll and metal had like a huge influence like in everything I was doing. And then one thing leading into another. When actually I was telling you earlier, when I did the show in Rock and Roll in 2001, I think it was the first time I met Sepultura.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then 2 years later I got a call to do for the house with them for a show.
Oh, wow.
And then since that day, I worked for 12 years non-stop.
With them? Or
with them.
Yeah, wow.
I did like 2 studio albums and an average of like 150 concerts a year.
Wow. So you worked with Mark Rizzo?
No, Mark he was in Soulfly, which was like when Max left in '96.
Yeah.
And when he started Soulfly, and then he was like later on he joined the band.
Okay.
So I worked with Andreas, Paulo, Derek, and Igor.
Oh, that's right. Without
without Max. And then in 2006 we recorded an album. I was mixing an album already, and that's when Igor said that he didn't want I think he wanted to take a little break.
Okay.
And the band needed to fulfill like the touring schedule, and ended up like going without him.
Yeah.
And he left.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. But they kept going. Actually, they are in Europe right now touring.
Oh yeah, Sepultura?
They don't stop, man.
Oh wow.
It's just like the same kind of rhythm from before.
Yeah.
100 something shows a year.
Wow.
An album, 2 years of touring, and then with that era was cool because I started connecting a lot of other artists.
Yeah.
And ended up working with other metal actors as well. Did a few tours with Motorhead doing for the house. I actually was filling.
Oh, you mixed Motorhead?
Yeah, I was filling for my engineer.
That's badass, man.
And I ended up doing one tour doing monitors for them also. That was one of the coolest moments in 2005 because that tour, it was the tour that they recorded in live album. And it was super, super cool to work with them. And then it was like, jumping one thing to another. I mixed Saxon to a lot of British bands.
Oh wow, Saxon.
Yeah, a few shows and tours like Central and South America, and just one whatever Sepultura is not actually, whenever they're not actually touring, ended up like getting other bands to work with.
Yeah.
And it was just getting me out of the country all the time. I was just flying out, spending more time outside of Brazil than actually living.
Okay.
And then, like I said, trying to squeeze one project here, one studio project there.
Yeah.
But I like to be on the road. I really like to do live sound. Live sound has something that's completely different from studio, of course, but when I'm in studio, I'm just trying to please myself in a very quiet environment. In the sense of like, I am only concerned about my mix position.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I'm doing a live show, I'm doing pretty much job. I'm delivering sound waves for everyone on the audience. So
yeah.
And then comes another perspective because you're not the most important listener.
Yeah.
You are one of those, but the audience, I try to work as much as I can to minimize the discrepancies between the first row to the last row.
Yeah.
try to deliver the same experience throughout the whole audience.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the way they react to the live mixing,
Yeah.
it brings so much to the audience, and all the way, and how can I say, it's a constant
Feedback. Energy,
emotional,
feedback, emotional.
Yeah, feedback. It's super cool.
Wow.
To be part
cool.
of,
Oh,
to
yeah.
help that to happen.
And it affects you as a mixer?
Oh yes, a lot, because you can actually feel like a moment that you can drive a little heavier or not,
Yeah.
depending on how things are going, and bring you some excitement. That's one of the coolest things.
Yeah.
Especially when I was mixing metal music. It's so much fun because I got the beginning of the, I don't think it was the beginning, but it was like at least for me it was, where sound pressure, it was an issue.
It was an issue?
You have to work in certain countries, like a 98 dBA, 100 dBA, 105. It's great, but it's like some Switzerland sometimes 96.
Okay.
So to mix a metal show on that kind of volume,
Yeah.
you have to raise the bar. In order to have intelligibility and making sound heavy at the same time without being loud, just creating the feeling of punch and the fullness kind of like the sound, but now being not hurting anybody's ears. And then at the beginning it was kind of hard for me, but then I realized that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you become more responsible.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to harm anybody's ears, right?
Exactly.
Including myself.
Yeah, of course.
I want to be in the business for longer, so.
Of course.
And then that's one of the coolest things. And like I said at the beginning, I received it and I was like, oh man, again, they'll give me like a 103 dBA, I'll be fine. Like 98. I remember last year I ended up mixing a show with this metal band from Sweden, great band. We play in a small place in France, and the limitation was 98.
Uh-huh.
And it was heavy. It was good. It was 98.
And how do you what you were saying, like getting the punch, the attack, the
Yes.
experience without being too loud?
Yeah.
How do you achieve that? How do you?
Well, I think just when I was working for the old school bands, like Sepultura, that had like a backline facing you, which was another PA pretty much, depending on the side of the room.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't come up with this, of course, but I heard from my engineer that he used to delay the main speakers to meet the backline, because with that he would actually prevent having how can I say, filtering throughout the whole room, which is like a destructive. It's just destructive, like how can I say, interaction between different sources in different times. Because the PA will be arriving earlier than them.
So delaying the main?
I was delaying the main PA to meet the back line in time, so they could actually arrive kind of together to the audience. So that it was actually bringing much more intelligibility.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was a big difference. I started using like a first with like I have one of those, how I call it, laser measurement tool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I just found the point and just measured the distance from the PA, the distance from the speakers, and get the information and put in on the processor to delay. It was not very accurate because at the end, when you pointed the laser, if I pointed on that little cabinet right now, and that's if it is the grill of the speaker.
Yeah.
We just
there's still some
space.
space.
Yes.
Between what you see and the
yeah,
call.
exactly. So nowadays it's great because it uses smart, so smart I can actually get the impulse response that come from that and they come from another source, and then actually, that's the delta time between the two sources, and it can actually get the data input in the system and just correct. That's how we do most of the time alignment with the big composition.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the works actually I do here a lot in South Florida, working as a system tech.
Okay.
Get hired, don't you? We designed this system for this this event, so I'm going there to, how can I say, to put everything to work, and then align the whole thing, you know, make everything coherent, you know, same energy here, same energy there, you know, trying to achieve that.
Yeah.
So, but nowadays it's easier. But back in the days I used to do that. I just use it with my pointer.
Wow.
And then find the difference. And then at the end, if you record on that situation, if you have like the backline screaming, which was like 70% of the guitar sound, and 30% was just like in me finding the phrases and trying to get a little bit of the mid range that was missing to, you know, make it a little clear, because, you know, whatever was coming from the speakers on the stage could be a little muddy because, you know, it was just the speakers, like, you know, throwing sound on this big room.
Yeah.
But it was funny because if you record something straight from the board, you're gonna have drums, vocals, and then a little very quiet guitar and bass because a lot of things were bleeding from the stage.
Yeah.
But I learned that because of the necessity of making things sound, how can I say, now in excruciating SPL,
Yeah.
because of the regulations in Europe, but at the same time trying to minimize the interference between the two sources because I couldn't fight with them.
Right.
But when I actually started putting this together, I was getting much clearer sound in the end, for guitarists at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and then so that helped a lot. And with the DB meter, just like in a kid in my head.
Yeah.
But now it's cool. We have an amazing sound system. Like I was with this band last year. They didn't even have a cabinet, so it was amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like they're from Sweden, you know, and they very smart band, you know, musicians. They had like fractals.
Yeah.
But they developed their own like impulse response, like based in a few amps and things that they want to do. And they had actually a guitar, you know, head. That was developed for this guy called Mike Fortin, the guy who actually used to design Randall amps.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's still doing them, of course, Randall. But so he created this amp. So fractal was going to the amp, from the amp to a loaded box called torpedo, and then that going to flowers.
Torpedo, yeah. I know.
Yeah, so there was no speakers on stage. It was
Yeah.
great. It was so quiet.
Yeah.
I just have snare and cymbals.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could actually mix it very
With a really clean stage.
Yes, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So we took for 3 months like that. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Devin's kind of the same, but he still has one cabinet.
Okay.
He likes to have, like, you know, little feedback.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's on fractals and campers altogether.
Really, both?
Yeah, he told me that he likes the modeling of the camper, but he preferred the effects of the fractal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he loves reverbs and delays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've seen the fractal in, like, when I went to Electric Lady with Michael Brower, you know.
Oh
him?
yeah.
And I saw the fractal there. I'm like, what do you use this for? It was in his rack, you know. It's like, he's like, I love the fractal for the effects. I don't use the amp simulators.
Yeah,
I use the effects. I'm like,
effects
oh,
are
interesting.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They told me like that's the good thing about both of them. So like campers are very good to do modeling, to do profiles of real guitar sound.
Yeah.
But when it comes to effects, like they like to blend.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean,
Sure.
I always vote for whatever works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with Devin, we just everything is lining. You don't even have like microphones on guitars.
Oh wow.
Just a signal.
That's so convenient, huh?
Yeah, with the other band, Meshuggah was like our only, line as well. There was no microphones whatsoever. The only microphone was for the singer and the drums.
Oh yeah. Wow.
It's so crazy to see like that. And now we're doing this with Juanes too.
Really?
Juanes is on fractals.
Yeah, well, I saw that.
And he was kind of like now believe in the beginning, but now I think him and Daza, his guitar player, they've been doing an amazing job. Like Daza, he's so smart. He's just like spending a lot of time tweaking and getting the impulse response to sound the way it was sounding in the record, or maybe the way we represent better the record. So he has an amazing guitar sound. He convinces. Yeah, he convinces. Like I told him then last week we did a rehearsals like a whole week, and I told him like I don't know what you guys did, but like it does sound like an amp.
Wow.
I feel like I am in front of like a, I don't know, a twin reverb sometimes with Vox
Wow.
or with Bogner, because the scope is huge, right?
Yeah.
You can do whatever.
Yeah.
So they are online now, right now, nowadays. For me, it's great because
Yeah.
I told the Juanes, like, the cool thing about this is you like your Bogner amp, and me too. They're amazing, right? But if we're gonna travel to these other country, you know, we're gonna travel to this other city, we might not gonna make you gear get that in time because of the logistics, and it can damage. You know, if the tubes, you know, start failing, your sound is.
That's it.
And we do TV and last minute things. I mean, it's not actually last minute thing, but it's like in the time that we have is different, you know, to tweak things.
Mm-hmm.
So why not using something that has consistency?
Yeah.
Because the idea is just like, let's try to reproduce this great show from today, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Try to always be consistent in the sense of like repeating the same experience. And those technologies, they allow us. I mean, I'm living this with like digital boards. I love them. I love analog stuff, but I cannot go back.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
I used to make some Midas Heritage and XO4s and back in the days, and a lot of outboard gear. If I have a chance to work with the artists that can have that kind of gear nowadays, if I would use it, I would say no. I won't, because I like digital stuff, digital board. I like plugins. I like all of this technology, and then I think we can get great results. Well, you know, the digital boards and you know all of this. How can I say computers? Right?
Yeah.
They're all computers in the end.
Yeah.
I don't feel any need to go back to the way it was.
Right.
Because it works.
Yeah, it works.
I think probably like 15 years ago, the converters, it wasn't that good, you know, like we have nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
Nowadays, just a matter of like, wow, 32 beats now, everything. 96K, oh my god.
Yeah, it's a different digital world.
I love it, you know. I've been using with Juanes and now Devin and Meshuggah as well. Well, all in digital with Wave Sound Grid, and then those things work.
Yeah, yeah. And you record the shows?
Every single day. That's a blessing for me, man.
Yeah.
Because think about this. You know, I do the show, I record the show, multi-track. Next day, I just walk in, I tune the system.
Yeah.
Finish tuning the system, just hit my playback from the night before.
Exactly.
It is the same input source from everything, the same instrument, same microphones when I have microphones. And quick tweak, I'm ready.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did this tour in the US of Devin. It was Devin, Gojira, and Opeth.
Wow.
We were like doing, you know, a couple shows together. It was great, a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Gojira was finished, with Johan is a very nice guy, the front house of Gojira, and great engineer. But he's a sweetheart. What a nice nice kid. And he finished like his set, you know, sound check the whole thing. He was doing the same thing. Like I'll record it. He was using Midas. I was on digital anyways. And then he finished like, hey, Johan, just let me know when you're done. I'm just gonna throw something noisy. Just see how responsive the room is. And I'm playing my tracks and I'm done. I don't even need the band on stage.
Wow.
And I was like sometimes getting everything done in 45 minutes.
Wow.
I mean, the possibility of doing this nowadays with the setup, that could be so compact.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it's
what's your signal flow like to record the show, multi-track?
Well,
you get the snake?
No, it's super simple. It's like MADI.
Okay.
I got a MADI out of the board, using one MADI interface, and then from that straight to the computer. Any Macintosh out of the, you know, over-the-counter computer that you can buy in Apple Store can do it. You don't need any crazy fancy specification.
No. So from the board you take MADI.
Yeah, I use a box called MGB. from DigiGrid sound. It's a soundtracks in
DigiGrid.
I think the soundtracks, if I'm not mistaken, soundtracks Digico and Waves together.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's like it's a little box that convert the MADI signal into SoundGrid signal, which is like the Ethernet, and then we go to a computer, and then not even Pro Tools, not anything. It just tracks live. It's just like a straightforward software.
Oh wow! To its own software?
Yeah, it's a Wave software like that.
Oh wow!
It does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It tracked everything, and you can play back to the board like a 1-to-1, and then there you go. Yeah. That's what I use, and then I recorded like in entire tours, like Juanes for 2.5 years. Last year, 3 months non-stop with Meshuggah. More than 50 shows.
Wow.
Now, Devin, United States, Europe now. I never had the system failing, not even once.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And I can record up to 64 tracks or more.
Right, cool.
Depending, if you go 48K, you can record more.
Wow. So, does it matter what computer you're using, like the processor?
Doesn't. I mean,
it's a computer processor?
Any i5 that we
Oh yeah?
fine, yeah.
Oh wow.
It just, I think if you go to an Apple store, you're not going to get a computer without SSD.
Yeah.
Right? So
Flash or SSD.
Yeah, so
yeah, they're fast. Yeah.
There is no bottleneck between processor and any mechanical,
right
parts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, those.
Yeah.
House fight 5400 RPM drivers. No.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore.
So those any computer will do it, and so I record like that. I run one laptop to record, another one just with Smart and my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
To more like playing back some songs after tune the system and stuff like that. I like to separate that from the recording computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a SoundGrid system running inside the board, so I can have access to the plugins there. And now I'm trying to move outside because start using the new Avid. Also, it's a great board.
Oh, Avid. What is it?
S6L.
XXL, yeah.
It's a great board. So we started doing some shows and how can I say, trying other stuff as well.
Yeah, you're trying it out.
Yeah, I still love Digico. They're great. The cool thing about Digico is it's open. For me, it's a blank canvas. I can do whatever I want. In the sense of routing signals and creating different layouts. The other boards, they're actually doing something in a sense, but I think Digico is more open in that sense and on that sense. So
what's your do you have a workflow that you a go-to with, say you were telling me before when you started with Juanes, and you're starting with a new artist,
right?
What do you do first?
That's a good thing. Devin was like that. Oops.
Yeah.
Devin was like that because the band, I need it would be great to have some tools to make that happen. Yeah. Because at the end it's like this. We're gonna play today on this venue. You're gonna play tomorrow in a different venue. We're gonna play day after next week in different places. Relying on local gear, we always gonna be facing some limitations or not. Yeah. Now we can have boards about the size of this guitar amp. Yeah. True. So I told him I need to have this board and this system and this recording system together. Yeah. Because like that I can be more consistent in results. Yeah. So that's why that was the first approach, and then we talked about it. It was it was possible, to do it. So I got it. So the first thing my first show was in California. I got to the first show, put everything together, connect the whole gear, blah blah blah, and then keep recording. Did the show because I knew the music, but that's another thing that I think is very important. I asked him send me your set list before the first show. Give me time to study your music, your set list. Exactly. So went online, nowadays we have iTunes, music and Spotify. So I spot the songs that put all together, And it was like this in loop, like you know, going to the gym, you know, driving in the city, just listen to the same loop of songs. So you have time to digest a little bit how, you know, the moments that you have the guitar lead, you know, the moments you have that kind of effect, the moment you have like more this and less that. So I have this in my mind, but it's a completely different story when you get to the show and you see the musicians delivering that, you know, arrangement. So that was funny because when I did Meshuggah last year, I did the same thing, and then I was like, oh, during the show, I was like, oh, that was you doing the solo. Oh, that's all it's you doing the solo. It's two guitar players.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was you. Oh, now it's you again. So it was kind of like, you know, getting the cues, but the band was super consistent. So it's like a week down the tour, you're already feeling comfortable. Awesome. So that was the same thing. So I hit the road in the first show. I was like, he's an amazing singer, just like delivering all the notes the way it is in the album. I don't know how he can do that. He's screaming his lungs out, and then after that he's just singing as an opera singer. And then I was like, whoa. And people come to me, are you using tracks? I was like, not for vocals.
Wow.
Not for vocals, that's only Devin. So you just get the thing. The band was great drummer, and that helps a lot. The next day I have everything recorded, so what I do, it is my laptop. I go back to the bus, put headphones, and start playing with it. And that's the coolest thing. I even can working on some presets of plugins. Oh, I think for this kind of guitar sound, I can use this plugin, I can use this thing. So I was preparing things even like offline, pretty much like working on my computer on a tool bus.
Wow.
I have a long...
In Pro Tools?
Yeah. Just convert the files, like just drag it and put in Pro Tools.
Do you use any outboard gear? Or is
it
all plugins?
All plugins.
Cool.
All plugins.
So it's perfect.
I used to have on Juanes to the first one. I used to have distressors. Avalon. What else? Even waves like a hardware like Max PCL. I took everything out. I'm getting pretty much the same result without actually. You know,
without
needing
hauling
that.
around.
And then it just makes things more straightforward for me. I don't feel like using anything. If I can, of course we can. We always can complicate things.
Exactly.
Just make it simple. The whatever comes from, if the source like is a guitar amp, you just using it has a great tone. You just use the microphone that's going to translate that better. Man, you're going to be surprised because probably you're going to be just high passing that microphone and it's going to be sound amazing. It's about mic placement and everything.
Right.
I have this kind of idea. If I have to cut more than 6 dB over any channel, something's wrong behind me. And I already, I mean, how can I say, consider 6 dB a lot. Yeah, I do a lot of subtracting. You know, EQ. You're barely gonna see me exciting anything. If I have to do something in that sense, I prefer to change the microphone.
Oh wow.
Just like
Makes
maybe
sense.
I'm just using a microphone that not giving me what I want. So and then I just replace it, and then I'm like, voila, and then the sound's there. Drums the same thing. If I show you my my input, how can I say, chain on my drum kit when I'm mixing, for example, Juanes, you're gonna see tiny cuts that is almost nothing. It's just like, you know, mic selection, mic placement, and also a great drum kit and drummer. I read this like a long time ago in a book when it was like trying to get like more information about, you know, when I was starting how to get that amazing drum sound, and then I saw this guy saying, you just need 2 things: a great drum kit and a great drummer. The rest just don't do any stupid things. It's gonna come out good, man.
Right.
I was like, oh, I think I need to find those elements. That was back in the days of starting, you know, in the business, just recording, you know, demo tapes. With, a bunch of kids down the street.
Right. So you said that you'll be able to like be on the tour bus and listen to a show and tweak.
Devin was blown away because I could actually get suggestions. What do you think about this? He was like, oh my god. I love this because he loves technology. So anyway,
it's a brave new world, huh? And so how well do things translate? I mean, if you're using vocals or Mackeys and stuff, and you listen and use tweak plugins, it might not translate, you know? Or you take it to the car or whatever. how does it translate like in a big PA system in a live setting with people and so much space?
That's super interesting. Super interesting. Well, one of the things like I do, and I believe like a lot of engineers, of course, do, is we try to. What's the hardest thing in the venue when you do a show, open air, like indoors? It is always the environment, the room, the acoustics, right? It's never perfect, and never expected to be. So what I do some work as a system tech, like exciting the room with pink noise and using measurement tools like software like Smart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Place like 1, 2, 3 microphones like in different positions, and then try to get traces that can represent what's going on with the audio on that room. And based on that, you can spot some problematic areas and address solutions.
Yeah.
When you do that, I save the traces from every single day, different brands of PA, different rooms and everything. And I'm not saying that I'm trying to match the traces every single place, but I know it gives me like some, I don't know, how can I say, it's not a visual guide, but it's something that I can have as a reference. So let's put it like this: I do a small club, and I have like a small, size PA system. So I smart the room and get the traces saved and everything, and get a good result. So after that, I play my tracks, and I barely touch my input and my EQs.
Wow.
My inputs EQ. I have to touch, of course, my outputs EQs. That's where I do all the work.
Yeah.
Usually, I got all my mix, all my inputs. I try to behave like this. I try to get my gain structured as I've been tracking to a tape to get the best out of my, noise and signal, ratio, and then. But I don't send this straight to the left and right. I create like a bunch of stems.
Yeah.
I mix them like buses pretty much. I never touch my inputs in the whole show. You're gonna see me like in the 8 faders, 16 faders. Just like I get everything summing, and if you have like a metal bands, like 2 kick drums, 4 microphones, like 2 microphones for every single kick drum. I have one group that I have everything all together. I do some work there, but if you start the show and I feel like during the sound check to the show time where I have like the place full of people and temperature change increases, humidity change as well, and you feel like, well, it's behaving a little different than what I heard earlier. So it's easy for me to work on my stems than just go track by track and try to do stuff.
Yeah.
So I get a very quick result like that. And I also, all of my buses, they convert in 2 buses. One is the whole band, and the other one is only the vocals. So they can play with that during the audio. Sometimes I feel the need that my band is too, especially with metal bands, has a lot of like energy on guitars, like because they don't have much dynamics. Just pretty much like a lot of 3K, 4K, just like screaming.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to just do something to correct that on that area without compromising the result of the vocals. And the vocals just pass through without any problem with that. So I do a lot of stuff like that, and then that helps me to be pretty consistent from one venue to another.
Awesome.
And going back to the studio, like you're saying, Focal, they're great speakers. Mackie, name it. I use Dynaudio.
I love Dynaudio.
So what you can do, they will sound different, of course. And the thing is, when I'm actually mixing in my Dynaudios, I know how they sound like.
Exactly.
So I have like a idea how things will come out of that speaker. And believe it or not, that's a funny thing. I don't like loud music. I mix in very quiet volumes, and sometimes I just boost a little bit. But I'm always in a quiet volume to mix. Yeah. And so on that, I can have the reading how everything will sound like. I know that I take the mixing to my car, to my other sound system in the house, any other place. That would be like some similarities, but the main part that actually all the mid-range, all the intelligibility and everything, they translated very well through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember back in the days when they started, working hours to get something sounding good out of my Anna stands, and then going to listen to my car and to my dad's car, and I was like, everything was falling apart. My problem was my stands. My problem was my room.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't trust much in what I was listening to.
Yeah.
But I think those things comes with experience.
Sure.
You start trying more, and
Yeah.
how can I say, finding other ways to cope with. Sometimes you're in a room that has like some stationary frequencies that around 120, 200 hertz. That can be very disturbing.
Yeah.
Because you start taking out of everything, and then you go to another place like, what's going on? Everything sounds kind of tiny.
It's all context.
On the live sound, I do like I was saying, the smart, in the room, and so you can spot like large areas. I never do surgical things. I never think about, that's too much of, not too much, like 3 dB more on this frequency than the other ones. Like I ignore it, because I don't even take like I would say ignore, but I was like, I will not take into consideration. I'm just looking for broad, bigger areas.
Yeah.
To to try to correct.
Yeah.
And I do this, or in the system, like if it is a house with a PA with a lake system, so I do that. Or I can do, if you don't have that, I can do on my matrix out on my board, because I manage everything through matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to do some work there as well. But I think every single situation is a different, how can I say, way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The most important thing at the end is like how you see, how you think. I was talking about that with a friend today. I mean, I love like sharing information. Like when people come to me to talk about, hey, how you do this? Like, well, I'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, don't you feel kind of like weird about sharing your secrets? I was like, well, I don't have any secrets. And the things like information, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. You can get that from. There are so much amazing content on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Right, and all of the web. So I think at the end you gotta have a picture of how things have to sound like. That's how I think at the end. When I walk to a venue, when I know the band, when I know how it sounds like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm already getting that not knowing, but thinking how I would want them to sound like.
Yeah.
So, and then even like you start mixing a lot of this kind of PA, this kind of brand, this kind of composition, you already know how they're gonna sound.
Yeah.
We have like so many great systems nowadays. I did a tour like in 2015 using the new EAW Anya. I was like blown away. It was amazing because I never thought I would have a PA that would take the room out of the equation, and that PA did it. Because everything is controlled by DSP. It was an amazing box. Every single box is a self-aware box. It's like if you have 8 boxes aside, you have 8 computers aside. They can do amazing things. You can actually direction the energy of the system without moving one single mechanical part of the box.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So inside it moves?
No, it's just time. It's just DSP.
Oh wow.
You can shoot audio 90 degrees down without moving anything. And when you talk about this, because when you look to the speaker, you have an idea what's going to come out of the speaker.
Of course.
And then you look to the back of the board, the box, and you have the feeling in front of the speaker. It twists your mind a little bit.
Wow.
So we did a tour with the system. It was incredible because every single day it was just a matter of pushing the settings, putting the box in the air, and a very quick tune, and then sound check was done.
Oh wow.
But there are many other brands also. They're great. Alacus has amazing PA systems like in D&B. I like all of those.
Mm-hmm.
JBL, you name it, Adamson. They all great box. Maya Sound, the Leo, what's incredible. So we are living amazing times for live sound, I believe.
Wow.
It's just like it's just a matter of taste.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
That one suits me better with this music than the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
Interesting.
whatever works in the sense. It's like I think I just like choosing a board, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love DigiQuest D7s. You know,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I do like the new average. I do like the Soundcraft too.
Mm.
You know, they're great.
Yeah.
I started doing some experience right now with the LV1 from Waves, and I was like, wow,
Huh.
it's crazy. You know, I mean, all those boards, they're big mouses in the end. They're all computers. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You just
exactly.
control the
They're
computer to the
controllers.
interface. Yeah, the faders in the interface, full of colors and lights
Mhm.
all over. It makes you feel so smart when you're behind those. Right? How many people used to come to me when I have the XL4 in front of me, full of knobs, like, do you know what every single knob is used for? I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I just see LEDs all over.
Right. Do you know what every LED does?
Yeah, wow, we have all the screens. Like, yeah, man, I can watch Netflix while I'm watching them doing it. Like, what? Really? Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Really?
Mine is also incredible in the digital ones, yeah. So I think we live in amazing times for like live audio. Which I remember when I was, you know, a kid going to concerts like in stadiums and coming back, like I have no idea about what was going on the stage, but I loved it. It was great because, you know, there was not much intelligibility back there.
Right. Yeah.
Big boxes, you know, was just about making louder.
Yeah.
And then now we just go to a concert, we just walk out of the concert like, my God, it was a live album pretty much. I went last year. I was between shows. I was in London, and then Muse was playing in the O2 Arena. So our tour manager arranged us to go just to watch the concert. I was impressed about the last album because it was produced by, you know, great engineer produced like in Mutlange, and I was like, wow, I want to hear this thing live. And I walked out of that arena, I was like, my God, it was amazing the way it was sounding. It was a 360 system, like all DMB.
Oh wow.
I saw the engineer in the corner with the XL4 and a lot of outboard stuff. That was sounding great. He captured the essence of the band, you know. I knew the music, I knew the songs, so all the subtleties, you know, the dynamic was going down. I noticed he was probably he has more on the microphone than the kick drum, I don't know, just me guessing. I could feel there was some of the mic was going down in the moment, just to feel like just the beater just going to the head, and then the song was like a lot of big and round, low end, and at the same time super tight. So I see things like this, I get inspired, man. I feel like, wow, man, that's amazing. That's I mean, there's no excuse to make things sound lame.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it's hard not to. But I would say I don't like to. I think everybody could have a bad day, you know. Just
Sure.
go to a show and then it's not your day. Things are not coming out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
I used to tell people this, like, I don't judge engineers because, you know, the only way they can know that this can sound a little better if I'll be mixing the same band, but I'm saying I can do better, but I can see how hard that band it is to sound good.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's not about sometimes about the musicians.
Right.
It's about the arrangements, it's about the music, it's about all together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I told Devin the other day, Devin, he produced everything, he mixed everything, he records everything. And I was amazed, I didn't know about that.
Oh wow.
He's an engineer, so
Wow.
he mixed like his last DVD, he mixed himself. And I was like, really? I was like, yeah. He was like, I had so much trouble with all these choirs and everything. I was like, wow, Devin, you think about like a lot of things in the same spectrum, right? I was like, what do you mean? He was like, they're all mid-range, the same, populated in the same area. I was like, oh yeah. Try to get like a, you know, 3 big people to go through the same door at the same time. You won't make things fit.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And then he looked at me and was like, I never thought of that way. I was like, wow, it just came out like this right now.
That's awesome.
Because I was like, wow, that's a way to represent, you know,
Yeah.
something that he can actually think, you know.
Of course.
It just, in order for you to make something, how can I say, happening, you just like to pop out in the mix, you have to put other things down sometimes,
Yeah.
you know. It just, and another interesting thing, I talk about this a lot. We cannot pay full attention of everything at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the stage, you have like 5 musicians playing, you can actually be 100% on that.
On all 5 now.
So sometimes, you know, the guitar solo is gonna kick in. So how many times I do this? I just open up a little bit of that mid-range to just stand down a little bit and just put it back.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough to get your attention for that moment, and then you just hooked on that guitar solo.
Right.
And they even put like more inside the mix, and it's fine. You're gonna keep hearing because you're paying attention on it.
Yeah.
And I also talk about this with some engineers, saying like, one of the biggest things when you go to a concert, it is, if you look to the audience, like 90%, 80 to 90% of the people there, they want to hear the vocals, the lyrics.
Yeah.
They want to have that crisp and clear.
Yeah.
If it's a club, it's an arena, it doesn't matter. That's the human connection right there.
Exactly.
For the 10 or 20% that could be like musicians, us engineers, we're thinking about the kick drum, the snare, the guitar sound is amazing.
Yeah.
They would feel better if it sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what I'm trying to say then is like, if you're failing on leaving the vocal very clear in the intelligibility, like how can I say, taking over the whole arena of club, you're already failing, because you might have amazing kick drum sound, but if your vocal is all muddy,
Totally
what's the
true.
point? Yeah.
Totally true.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Right? I remember because back in the days I was like, oh man, just trying to get things so,
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
you won't be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You won't be.
Yeah.
You're gonna have like a great day. Sometimes it's gonna be like, man, just a good day.
Yeah. Mira, ¿y qué tal tu español?
Hablo un poco ahora porque trabajando con Juanes
Tienes que practicarlo más.
y aquí en Miami también, pero para mí es una cosa, ¿cómo puedo decir? Nueva.
¿El español?
Sí, porque en Brasil no hablaba español, porque no hay como una conexión de la cultura, yo creo que en música, en todo. Y eso que estaba hablando más temprano, que la primera vez que estuve aquí en un evento en American Airlines,
Ajá.
que tuve una oportunidad de estar como, tener una experiencia con tantos artistas buenísimos que yo nunca escuché antes.
Wow.
Y me sentía un ignorante. No tengo idea. ¡Wow! Mira eso. ¡Wow! No conozco.
Wow. Cuéntame de nuevo un poquito acerca de cómo te iniciaste en la música, que me pareció interesante para grabarlo.
Sí, claro. Pues en un momento que yo tenía como 7 años, la primera vez que yo creo que como la palabra como you wake up for music.
Ajá.
Yo tenía yo vivía en un barrio ¿cómo puedo decir?
Ajá.
Cambiamos para otro que no conocía nadie.
¿Te mudaste?
Sí, exactamente. Y era como un domingo, no había nada para hacer. Y había como una festa de cumpleaños de una prima. Y me fui, y estaba como enojado, no nada para hacer. Era ese tipo. Empezó a hablar así, mira. Oh. Y ahora, tú estás viviendo como una casa cerca de mi casa. Ok. So, mañana vamos a hacer una cosa, ¿ok? Vamos a escuchar un poco de música. Entonces, ok. So, me fui a casa de ese tipo y la primera vez escuché Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath. Yo tenía como 7 para 8 años.
Qué bueno.
Ese cambió mi vida completamente. Llegué en mi casa y estaba como, madre, mira, yo tengo que comprar 2 cosas, Iron Maiden y Black Sabbath. Mi mamá estaba como, ¿qué? Entonces cuando empecé, pero tardó un poco para empezar a tocar. Empecé a tocar guitarra cuando tenía como 13 para 14 años. Y si tenía una guitarra, compré de un amigo que estaba queriendo comprar otra guitarra, entonces compré guitarra y me fui a mi casa y estaba como... por una semana. Y aprendí a tocar así.
Qué bueno.
Y sí, escuchando y mirando a mi amigo que tocaba muy bien. Y empezamos a tocar y escuchar mucha música y intentar como sonar como los temas de Iron Maiden y Metallica y todos esos grupos. Y empezamos a tocar juntos con otros amigos también.
Qué bueno.
Es una cosa como se daba otra.
Sí.
Y Y cuando me fui la primera vez en estudio para grabar una demo, y la primera vez que estaba mirando una consola, los grabadores de cinta, y todos los compresores y cosas así, mira, wow, mira, yo quiero hacer eso. Ese como, yo creo que como el primer contacto.
Wow.
Y se pone como una cosa en mi cabeza porque yo quería hacer eso, pero no tenía cómo hacer en Brasil porque no había escuela para estudiar, yo tenía que salir. Y para mí no había cómo salir en el momento. Y entonces me fui como buscando y hablando con los tipos que tocaban. Y me empecé a trabajar haciendo como guitarra técnica en un grupo. Y me gustaría, mi idea es estar haciendo sonido. Y en un momento el técnico de sonido estaba saliendo. Y ese tipo de guitarrista me preguntó como, yo creo que puede estar haciendo sonido también, ¿no? Así, claro, sí. Pero estaba me cagando todo. Me fui y empecé, trabajé como un año con ese grupo y empecé a hacer otro y trabajé en estudio también.
¿Y trabajabas gratis o te pagaban al principio?
Pagaban.
¿En serio?
Sí.
¿Aprendiste y te pagaban?
Exactamente, tenían una suerte.
Wow.
Porque no pagaba mucho, pero pagaba.
Pero pagaba.
Sí, porque yo trabajé en como un venue como más chiquito. Y tenía como una consola de como 8 canales el primer trabajo, tenía como 18 años. Parece ese trabajo fue muy importante porque todos los músicos en la ciudad, después que tocaban en otras casas y otros conciertos, se encontraban, se reunían con ese venue. Entonces conocí mucha gente.
Sí.
Entonces, y trabajé como 4 o 5 meses, después empecé a trabajar como guitar tech, un grupo más famoso, haciendo como guitarra, en sequencer, en synth, y cosas así. Pero como así que tenía que hacer y salía corriendo para la consola para mirar, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? Eres ingeniero, ¿sabes? Otra vez, y yo tenía mucha ganas de aprender, entonces eso, y yo no tenía problema de hablar también, si no sabía cómo usar,
Claro.
pero decía, mira, yo no sé, pero yo voy a buscar saber.
Claro.
Y eso yo creo que abrió muchas puertas.
Claro, preguntar y ser honesto que no sé hacer esto.
No sé, pero yo puedo descubrir.
Qué
Yo
bueno.
voy a aprender.
Qué bueno.
Y aprendí.
Qué bueno.
¿Verdad?
¿Y quién fue una de las personas que más te enseñó? O sea, a una de las etapas de tu
sí.
vida.
Yo creo 3 amigos que después se pasaron a ser amigos. El primero técnico que grabó mi banda, que es un gran amigo hoy. Un amigo, un músico increíble que canta muy bien, se toca un piano increíble, guitarra también. Y es como un productor musical, ingeniero también, buenísimo. Él estudiaba en Boston, hacía como Berkeley, cosas así. Y vivía en la misma ciudad. Y por otro amigo me conectó con ese tipo y empezamos a hablar, que él tenía mucha información, pero no tenía mucha experiencia de hacer, de trabajar en estudio. Yo tenía mucha experiencia, pero no tenía mucha información.